it's Pi Day, and Kumon instructor Farheen Hassan is here with students Cole and Maeve to showcase fun and educational activities you can do with your kids. That was a bit of a tongue twister, fun and educational activities. So first, before we get to these activities, tell us that today is Pi Day. We're not talking about apple pie, we're talking about the equation pi.
Yes, and pi is the most recognized constant in the world. And it's used to determine the circumference or the diameter of circles. And since pi starts with the digits 3.14, that's why it's celebrated on March 14th.
And there's actually a specific time too, isn't there?
Yes,
1:59 exactly.
Because the next three digits are 3.14159. So
now tell me, why is pi important? What can this constant help us measure?
Well, it measures the circumference, and it helps us measure the circumference and diameters of circles, and it's a constant number. It goes on forever. The reason why Pi Day is so important and why I celebrate it is that we want to introduce math in a fun way to students so that they learn that math can be fun, and you can do a lot of activities that are really fun to do.
So we have two youngsters today. Cole is 5 and Maeve is 2. And do you normally start with children this young?
Well, in Kumon, we can start as young as 3 years old, depending on whether they're ready for the program. But we do have a math program and we have an English program in Kumon.
So let's start with some of these activities. So we're going to be the kids will be making bracelets. Tell us about the bracelets and what the beads represent.
Well, what I did was that I wrote down the digits of pi, and I put a corresponding bead color with the digits. So it's a good way for students to get used to dealing with numbers and using activities to get them more exposed to numbers. So they would be matching up the beads with the numbers of the digit pi.
So Cole, have you started yet?
Well, I'm kind of starting getting them over here.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's a really good start. And what color do you need first if you're looking at this chart?
That one.
A blue one. Can you find one that matches that? So is this one of the typical activities you would do at the school at such a young age?
Well, I mean, this is certainly a good activity because Pi Day right now is falling in March break. Yes. So this is a really fun activity for even families to do at home with their children to introduce math in their daily activities. So that would be one of the activities. Another one that I like for children to do is a scavenger hunt. Okay. So you could do a scavenger hunt. You could have words that start with the letters P and I, pi, and also circular objects, and then hide them around the house, and then the children could, do a scavenger hunt to find them.
I think we lost one to go do a scavenger hunt right now. So Cole, what have you got on here now? You've got 2 beads, and the next color. What color is this one? I think that looks like a red.
Yeah,
do you want to try to find that?
Yeah, I like red.
So I know that we can also find the measurement for our hats. I've walked into hat stores before, and it'll say your hat size is 6 or 7 or 8, and I'm thinking, what does that mean? But how do you use pi to determine your hat size?
So usually how hat size is determined is that you could measure your own head and then divide it by pi, and then you would get the hat size. So that's usually how pi is used to determine hat sizes.
So it's as simple as that, just taking a measuring tape around your head and then divide it, and then you get pi.
Yes.
So you said that you also teach the children English at Kumon.
Yes.
How do you begin to instruct them on learning how to read, for instance?
Well, we do have a pre-reading program in Kumon, so the students usually, the program starts with sight vocabulary, so students are exposed to a lot of sight vocabulary, sight words, and then after that we start working on phonics, so sounds of letters, consonant combinations, vowel combinations, and then of course the English program actually goes up to critical reading skills. So right up to grade 12, and the same thing in math, we go from counting to calculus, and in Kumon, our students finish the program at calculus without ever using a calculator.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I want to go back to the reading just quickly for a moment, because at first, I guess what you were trying to explain, it's memorizing for the first bit. You memorize the words?
It's not necessarily memorizing, but exposing the students to those sight words so that they feel more comfortable with the vocabulary, and then we would introduce them to the phonics, so starting with sounds of letters.
The phonics is great, because I heard that they were going to start teaching, not Kumon, but schools would start teaching away from phonics and more memorizing the letters, but I know that phonics is helpful when you're trying to...
Yes, it is. And what we do is that we encourage self-learning in the students. So we want them to be more independent learners.
Yeah.
So that is the goal of the Kumon program, is to make students more independent in their learning skills.
And actually, we just saw this happen. Cole, can
Yes.
I see your bracelet? Oh, that's very nice. Did you enjoy making that?
Yeah.
Who are you going to give your bracelet to? Maybe your mom? Or you're going to keep it? Do you want me to help you put it on?
Yeah.
Let's put that on. And so you said even high school students can attend.
Yes.
Why did you decide that this was something you wanted to get into?
Well, I mean, I started in Kumon as a Kumon parent, so both of my children started Kumon when they were 4 years old. And
So you have personal experience with
Yes,
it. Thank
I
you so
do.
much for being here today. Up next, we have Durham Regional Science Fair. Stay with us. I like your bracelet, buddy. You know what? You're the cutest little kid.